Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today our topic is revision strategies, and this is part 2 of the series. In the last part, we discussed about the most important graph in the world created by Tony Buzan, and we also discussed about the definitions of all the terminology related to it. Now let's see how knowing about this graph helps us as teachers and learners. The first effect or first factor that is addressed by this graph is primacy effect. What we need to do is that we should start with something remarkable, because we know that items that are presented or are learnt at the beginning of the learning period, they are remembered more effectively. Therefore, we should start with something remarkable. We should make a good first impression. Whenever we meet somebody or we have an interview, we must ensure that we make a good first impression, because that first impression will not be forgotten. As teachers, we should try our best to use interesting motivational activities, because they will help learners remember those items, learning points, concepts better. The second factor is the recency factor or recency effect, and this means that any item that is learned at the end of the learning period will be remembered. So if this is how learning takes place, then what we need to do is end with something remarkable as well. So we should begin with something remarkable and we should end with something remarkable. And teachers must recapitulate in an interesting way so that our students remember what they are learning. And another thing that we need to do is taking regular breaks can give additional recency effect. If we break the learning period into shorter periods of time, that also is going to have several recency and primacy effects broken down in different periods, and it will help us to remember things more, inshallah. The next is von Restorff effect. Our brains remember the unique, the biggest, and the best. So things that are outstanding, unusual, special, they are remembered most. So what we need to do, make the important points stand out in some way. Like we use headings of different colors, we use boldface. All these features make important points stand out. You can add humor, absurdity, and color to make important points stand out. The next is association, connecting ideas with what the children or the learners or ourselves we have learned previously. Prophet ﷺ used to repeat key points thrice. He ﷺ used to explain things with analogies and examples, and these analogies and examples were related to our lives, connected to our lives. Like he said that if a person takes a bath in a river that flows in front of his house 5 times a day, will he be clean or dirty? And of course, if a person takes bath 5 times a day, he would be clean. And then he said that our salah is the same. If you offer salah 5 times a day, you will be clean of all the sins. Effective metaphors and similes can also aid associations. The next is understanding effect or the misunderstanding effect. For this, we need to be really careful. Everyone processes information differently because of their previous experiences and knowledge, because we construct our own knowledge ourselves, and when we are constructing, we are actually building the new keeping the new bricks in connection, relating with our previous experiences and our previous knowledge. So each new brick is supported by the previous brick. So it is important that things are presented in a way that there is no chance of misunderstanding. As teachers, make sure that your choice of words is precise and deliberate so that no misunderstanding is possible. Use clear examples and demonstrations so that the new information or the new concepts are hooked with those previous experiences. The next is interest effect. Make learning interesting. The first step of learning is attention, which is selective. If the child or the learner is not paying attention, he will not be able to understand anything at all. The last is meaning effect. Use real-life examples and stories to make learning relevant and worthwhile. Create Eureka. That's all for today. Jazakallah. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.